One Fest, in one word, is a celebration of life. Just giving space for you to experience the life that's in you, the breath, and for you to be present with the things that you're blessed with, the movement that you can, whatever limitations you might have, you get to celebrate that gift of whatever movement is to you as an individual.
How did One Fest come to be? I was teaching classes. I have my own yoga school, and through my yoga school I was teaching classes all over town. And one of the places that I was teaching was at a brewery in South End, Charlotte, called Lenny Boy. And I had created a really great relationship with the manager there, and he said to me one day, "You have to meet this person. I feel like she's another yogi in town, and I feel like you would really sync up with her. You have so much in common, and I have a big idea that I think you would both execute like perfectly." And his idea was to create a festival. Yoga has been a healing modality for me since I was introduced to it about 25 years ago. And what I realized was that yoga is the science of the mind. And what yoga says is that your mind can either be working for you or against you, but it's always working. And so the yoga practice is the science of figuring out what is happening in your mind so that you are able to use it for the benefit of yourself and others. And so that is a huge flip, because I know that most people think of yoga as a physical practice, which it definitely is, because the mind is everywhere in the body. Every cell has a mind. The same intelligence is everywhere. And so they're right to think that. But it has been really profound. And I believe that music and art have that same intuitive intelligence, that they just go to work inside the body, and we might not even know exactly why or how it's working, but it is working to help us to find a place of freedom and understanding that sometimes words can't express, but music can, or words can't express, but art can. You can express yourself through movement, like you can in yoga, or find quiet and stillness the way that you can in meditation, to find this inner peace even when the whole world around you feels like a tornado is chaos. Yoga has always helped me to find that center, and I really feel the same way about music and arts, which is why it was so important for Jasmine and I to come to have a festival that really incorporated all of those modalities.
Welcome to One Fest, come on, woo!
Oh yeah. One Fest last year with my sister. We came out to Lenny Boys and had a blast. It's full of community, over 50 classes during the day of movement, dance, celebration. And on top of that, we have local artists, small businesses, vendors, all coming together to have a great day. After I had the opportunity to be with my sister last year, I said I absolutely had to be here again. So I brought my friend out here, and I teach in the local area. So I also was able to teach at the Family Wonder Tent today, and we had an absolute blast.
Here at Lenny Boy, we've had yoga practices for probably going on 6 or 7 years. So we were kind of at the forefront of some of the first breweries in town to start doing yoga at a brewery. And it had never really gone beyond 1 or 2 classes a week. And we had a pretty good following. We had people that came regularly, and there was always a little bit of a ambition or a hope that we could do something bigger. We knew that we had the audience. We knew that we had people that were interested in doing yoga here. So we were always just kind of looking for the right partner that was immersed in the yoga community enough, that had the right connections to bring it all together. And Dancing Lotus ended up being that perfect sort of connection. So it was an initial meeting of what could we do? Could we host a class? And I kind of pitched the option of, you know, we've always kind of wanted to do a festival here. Like, what if we did more than just a class? What if we had multiple instructors that did different types of classes and in different spaces here, outdoor, indoor, whatever. And that was in February or March of last year. And they totally sunk their teeth into the idea, and it was pretty ambitious to put it all together in the span of a couple of months. And they did it, and they knocked it out of the park, and it was an awesome first year for the festival. So now going into year 2, we've had a whole year under our belts to plan and really be more meticulous about getting everything all together and kind of in the right place. So we're kind of excited to see what that growth looks like for year 2.
OneFest is so incredibly welcoming to the community. Like, we absolutely are committed to folks being seen. That is our #1 focus as a community, is that person, that individual, whether they're with friends or they're walking in by themselves, we want them to be seen and to be understood and to just be loved. Even as strangers, like, we want you to know that we're here and we're here to navigate this journey wherever you want it to go for you today. It could be sitting and watching the band play and you just want to soak in the environment. It could be going to as many classes and experiences as you possibly can. It doesn't have to look one exact way. There is no cookie cutter way, a perfect way to experience OneFest. We want you to come and be able to be seen and be helped along the way with, what are you interested in? Would you like to just observe the artist creating? Do you want to visit the vendors? Like, what is it that is going to make you feel like you're being transported into this space where you are at peace and where you are feeling a sense of ease and comfort?
One of the things about OneFest that's really important to Jasmine and myself is accessibility and diversity and inclusion.
People should come to OneFest next year because it's a lot of fun. I would describe this community as welcoming, inclusive, full of light, and full of love. You'll meet new people, you'll explore something new, and you might find a new love for yoga.
I love seeing all these amazing vendors, yoga teachers, and the community come together for a really unique experience here in Charlotte.
OneFest, when the door is open, we want you to be welcomed. So in your check-in experience, you will see welcoming faces, big smiles, and you will be seen as an individual, whether you're by yourself or with many. You will be provided the guide to know where you're going to go, to help you understand the options and the opportunities for you. And then you have the door open, your chance to create the experience that you want, curate the experience in the way that you wish for it to be curated. And it could mean that you're observing, watching the band, watching some musicians and the artists creating. You could take a stroll through the vendor alley and connect with some of these beautiful creators and folks that are committed to their craft and that want to share with you the gifts of their craft and their businesses that they're representing and the ways that they bring healing into the community. We're work very hard at bringing vendors that are going to bring different types of products and services that are really supportive to the healing journey of the individual. Other options for you are the tent, like Shanti tent. Shanti means peace. All of these practices have the drop sound now, so noise canceling headphones in them, and those practices are, you are in this festival environment, but everything else is closed off. You're present. You are connected with whatever the teacher is speaking through the headphones or whatever music they're playing. It allows you to be super immersive in whatever that particular offering is. And so it's something that most people find quite enjoyable because it's like very unique to have something like that in an offering of a festival where things are louder and a little bit more animated in some ways. And then we have our family tent, our Wonder tent. And you know, our passion is being able to create these healing experiences, and children were born with this natural tendency of like just creating joy, right? Creating this opportunity for us to remember what it's like to be in that space of awe and wonder, right? Being in that space where you can move your body and it doesn't have to be structured, it doesn't have to be rigid, it can be fun and free-flowing and a little silly. And so the Wonder Tent is exactly that, this opportunity for you to have eyes of awe and wonder like a child. There's other spaces like our larger space that is prana, which is all energy building practices, ones that are going to get you a little fiery, really deeper into the physical movement aspect of the practice. And we hold a number of really fun practices in prana that are very atypical. So we'll have a dance flow type practice, a paint and flow practice where they're creating a community piece together that is focused around healing the chakras while doing movements. And so there's this beautiful marriage of yoga and the practice of healing art, but it's done in community, which is very interesting to watch that piece come alive every year, because it becomes this beautiful masterpiece that we could have never created a perfect template for. It just blows our mind every time. And then we have Lila, very playful practices. Lila is the space where play is the mode of healing and remembering how important play is. And so there's dance in there. There's lots of energetic movement, a lot of fun instructors that are live, you know, people that use their bodies as a part. When I say their bodies, I mean their whole entire animated physical body to bring the energy up, for you to feel this energy of you're allowed to play, you are allowed to be childlike in your existence, and it doesn't have to be a certain way or look a certain way, but we're going to offer you some spaces with great music and a little bit of movement and make it your own. Make it your own after that, right? And we also have a place called the tea room. The tea room is a place for discussion, a place for you to go deeper in the practices, a place for there to be some teaching that is done with a lot more focus, where we're having conversation specifically around one or two topics, with a couple of maybe one or two leaders for each offering. And it's just a nice place to pause. It's a lot going on the outside. So let's just soak it all in. Let's listen to a couple of lectures, maybe learn some fun practices, maybe try some in that space as well that don't require any movement at all. Just sipping on tea. Just sipping on tea or any other beverage that you want to bring into the space to be able to just soak it in for a little while. And then my favorite place in all of OneFest, a space that I believe has taken a world of its own and has blown my mind of like what the possibilities are. I knew in our first year offering healing experiences such as Reiki was going to be a really fun focus, something that was different. Offering free sessions is unheard of, right? People hear of things like energy healing and Reiki practices, and they don't know what to expect. You know, they maybe don't know where to go to seek those practices out. And so what we've done is create an entire day of Reiki healing experiences, mini sessions that are completely free for the attendees. And so they're booking those sessions in advance, and that space, it just has this incredible energy that just remains in that space where we hold the energy healing. And every person who have ever spoken with that have taken that Reiki mini session is like, I didn't know what to expect, and then I left and I don't know how to explain how incredible it was. It's like, you know, I've had even the practitioners tell me, oh, it's only 11 minutes, it seems kind of short. And then they're like, 11 minutes? I can do a lot in 11 minutes, and I didn't realize it even as a healer. Like, I just am so excited to have a space to share as a healer with so many that have never even taken the steps to explore the practice. They've been interested but never actually created the space, and now it's there offered to them for free. And so it creates this open door for them to establish a relationship with perhaps someone right here in the community of Charlotte that they can receive these practices from.
One Fest is a one-day yoga, music, and art festival here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and it is a day of community building, of moving your body, feeling your body, and just having fun with some of the best teachers in the North Carolina area.
I'm really passionate about art, music, and the collaboration between yoga and art is one of like the main things I'm trying to focus on as a yoga teacher. So this event really encompasses that. And I think it's a way for people to explore their creativity, play, get out of the everyday norm of sitting on their couch, watching TV, being on their computers, and just participate in something bigger than themselves. I am painting here at One Fest. I'm a live painter for the event today. I'm also a yoga teacher in the area, so my 200-hour yoga teacher, Victoria, invited me to participate and be a part of the day.
We were so intentional about creating a team of instructors that is representative of all faces and types of humans that are in our community, right? One of the biggest barriers for people going into a new environment, such as a yoga studio or a new yoga class, is that they don't see themselves represented, not just in the attendees, but especially the leader of the practice, right? Feeling like they have to be a certain background, culturally or physically have a certain body type. And so we want to make sure that everybody is seen in the teaching team. We have someone here that is 100% available to serve you and understands you more deeply than maybe someone else may not, right? And so we're being able to create and curate these experiences that say, you know, you are not just welcome, but you are appreciated and you are seen, and the door is open because the teaching team has created this space where you hopefully are feeling a sense of safety and a sense of security and a sense of peace and ease by being here in this space.
Close relationship with the two originator or the two creators of One Fest, Jasmine and Victoria, and felt really called to support their mission of building community in the wellness and spiritual community space here in Charlotte, and was really excited to host some of my offerings here at the first inaugural One Fest, and was excited to come back and do it again. I first found meditation, which led me to yoga, which I didn't even know really much about, and quickly found out that meditation is very much a part of yoga, which is very much a part of the practice of being alive. And so yoga, I've come to learn, is not necessarily something we might do on a yoga mat. It's a lot more. It's a way of being. And throughout the last 2 decades, I've experienced a lot of healing opportunities through being in the practice. And so part of that journey of healing myself has been sharing these gifts and practices with others, which is why I, as a clinical therapist, incorporate a lot of these mindfulness-based stress reductions and embodiment practices in what I do with clients here in Charlotte.
amazing. I've been here since 10 a.m. So I came to the opening ceremonies, went to a few yoga classes, got some really good food at the food trucks, and so it's been an awesome day. I'm sad to leave.
Jasmine and Victoria brought together such a great community, bringing the arts, yoga, music. It just all comes together in one. It's all arts, whether it's yoga, it's literal art or performances. It's all put in one. So I think that's such a beautiful thing to see it all together.
Well, the first word that comes to my mind when I think about OneFest is community. And the last few years for humanity have been a challenge. And my observation and experience as one of those humans is that there has been a lot of isolation. And this is a beautiful space where people can come together to be in community and to be able to either receive the gifts of others or share their gifts with others or experience both. So you're sharing a gift, a talent, you're teaching a class, you're a vendor sharing an art form that you're wanting to sell or spread awareness about, and you're also here as, let's say, a customer or a participant where you get to experience the benefit of being in the space of these practitioners and vendors and indulging, if you will, in what they have to offer, and also building relationships and being connected in community.
OneFest should be bringing healing, hope, inspiration, and joy to the community of Charlotte. That is the goal for us as a community, is to create this space of joy and, memorable experiences that allow people to open up this part of them that they really may never have had the opportunity to know, to see, to understand. And so bridging that gap for them by saying, hey, not only do we have this space for you today here at OneFest, but now you have this whole community of people that you can now be connected to and to be supported by after OneFest for months and years to come. You come back to OneFest again, sure, but at least you take this away with you. This goes home with you. These memories and this community goes with you. And so OneFest is that space that hopefully brings you alive.
One of the things about OneFest that's really important to Jasmine and myself is accessibility and diversity and inclusion. We don't heal by ourselves, that we really do need our community, and to involve our family would allow us to heal exponentially faster and also into the togetherness of the whole community. So we're super excited about that.
One Fest is a representation of the beautiful budding city that Charlotte is. We have folks from all these different sized cities and towns and some rural communities that have come to this area, to Charlotte, and they bring with them all of the beauty and the diversity from the areas that they have hailed from, right? And so it's really cool to watch that kind of melting pot in such a beautiful way, where there's this like mixture of sweet and kindness and energetic, and like there's just these mixtures that you get from different cities and different sizes of towns, and culturally from other countries, because we have a lot of folks from international spaces as well that are bringing their cultural diversity into Charlotte, and watching One Fest be this space where they feel, wow, Charlotte's pretty freaking cool. Like, they're like, I kind of like this city. Now they feel like Charlotte is home. And that's our hope, is that people feel this representation of One Fest being Charlotte, and Charlotte is home. And whether or not you're here for a season or you're here now for the rest of your life because you just love it so much, you feel in whatever time frame, you feel at home here at One Fest, and equally at home in Charlotte. And so our hope really is that folks are feeling this deep connection to what we would call home.
What One Fest means to me, and what I hope that it will mean for the community, is a place and a day that stays in their heart for longer than that moment. An experience that allows somebody to get a little crack opens that day, right? That you've never done yoga before, you've never experienced perhaps meditation, or you hear something in a lecture that day, or you have a hug or an interaction with somebody. It could even be a vendor or somebody from a food truck or one of our amazing volunteers, that there's some sort of experience or interaction that day that just cracks your heart open a little bit to say, oh, maybe there's something else out there for me. Maybe there's something else for me. I'm like getting chills just thinking about it, because maybe there's another way for me to live in this world. Maybe there's something else. There's another expansion for my mind or for my body or for my heart. And so just to create even just like the tiniest crack into somebody's consciousness, to just see, ooh, maybe there's something else, that would mean everything to me. And that would make, I think, One Fest worth it, even if that happened for one person.